Okay, we're going to get started. I'm proud to introduce our 41st Mayor of the City of Dunkirk, Mayor Wilfred Rosas.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone here to City Hall as I begin the budget process for our fiscal year 2019. This is my proposed budget, and I'll be proposing it to council, and they'll get to look at it for another month and make the changes that they feel are necessary. And then part of the process is that the budget will come back to me for another month. Well, at that time, I'll be looking to make the final decisions to adopt a budget for 2019. Before I begin, I do have a prepared statement that I'm going to be reading. And before I do, I just would like to let everyone know that this budget process is the most important duty of the mayor as chief executive officer. This is where I get to make decisions, and I have to make important decisions, some of them not very popular. Each budget line has been looked at and analyzed very carefully, and decisions had to be made that I believe are in the best interest of the city as we move forward. We have many issues to deal with in our city. We have equipment needs, manpower needs, and the fact that we have the NRG issue to deal with are things that make this budget process a little bit difficult and make the decisions that we have to make here important decisions. And again, some of them not very popular, but I believe that this budget will show that we are doing our due diligence to make sure that we do not have to deal with these issues by raising taxes. So at this time, I would like to thank our department heads, all of them that have worked with our fiscal affairs officer in providing information, very important information in their respective departments, which we need in making important decisions on these budget lines. I would also like to thank our fiscal affairs officer. We have been working for many weeks. We have been working evenings, weekends, and even through a holiday to make sure that we had these numbers right. So if she could stand up, Ms. Marcia Beach, please stand up, be recognized. At this time, I'll read our statement here. This is the fiscal year 2019 budget message. The city of Dunkirk has arrived at the milepost marked change in our city. We are leaving behind the many days of business as usual and moving forward toward progress and growth. The fruits of our labors are beginning to be seen, and the promise I made to the residents of this city when I was elected some 3 years ago are being fulfilled. This 2019 budget is reflective of the hard work and dedication my staff and I have been involved with over the past several months. There are areas where some budget lines have been reduced and some have been increased. This is due to the need to not only ensure a balanced budget, but to provide reasonable and manageable efficiencies throughout and within every department. These recommended changes will not create a negative impact on our operations. Due to the many state grants that our development department has secured over the past 2 years, we have been able to improve our infrastructure and enhance some of our services to the residents of Dunkirk. Additionally, we are seeing continued growth and economic development happening along our waterfront. With the construction of the Battery Point Villas, the cold storage warehouse, expansion of Fieldbrook Foods, the marina development, and the planned hotel, our economy is beginning to turn around. We must also recognize the Athenix facility that is being constructed in the town of Dunkirk, which will have a major positive impact on our wastewater treatment plant and our water filtration plant, as well as provide employment opportunities to our residents. And there is more to come. The spinoff from this development will fulfill one of our goals to bring in new businesses and industry to the city of Dunkirk. Additionally, with new businesses come more tourists and potentially new residents. These things mean more revenue to our city for further development, infrastructure improvements, and employment opportunities. The city of Dunkirk has been designated as a brownfield opportunities area, giving us an advantage over many other communities to attract new businesses and industries. This designation provides incentives to developers who are seeking communities such as ours to bring their businesses. We have challenges, however, and we are prepared to face them head on. As mayor and with my team of dedicated individuals, we will continue to seek the most effective and efficient manner in which to keep the city on its current positive path. This will not mean that we will go it alone. We will take advantage of every opportunity to pursue and solidify shared services agreements with our neighboring communities, the county, and the state. Over the past 2 years, we have worked with the New York State Financial Restructuring Board, and I am very proud to announce here today that we have secured funding of $1.1 million for an LED lighting project which will save the city over $1 million over the next 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this project is going to be very helpful moving forward in helping us to not have to raise taxes if the NRG situation continues down the path that it is headed. So I'm very proud to have accomplished that because, again, this project is looked at by the state as a model for other municipalities across the state. We have become the sole supplier of water to the North County Water District, which will increase our revenue exponentially. We continue to work with the County of Chautauqua for street and highway improvements through shared services agreements. And again, here I would like to point out that since I came into office, we have been paving streets. We've changed the way we've been doing it. We have been using these shared services agreements with the county. What that has done, it has saved us a lot of money. In that process, however, things in roads are not being paved as quickly as we want them to be. But in my opinion, the money saved outweighs the need to have it done so quickly. So we have saved money in the ways that we're taking care of our streets, and I'm very proud of that as well. Our Central Avenue Business District is an area that has suffered, and we are continuously looking for opportunities to bring new development as well as to redevelop this whole area. While we continue to reach out to the governor's office for funding support, 2019 will see us focus on this area with unrelenting determination and purpose. We are pursuing additional grants and funding for shared services contracts, which will not only enhance our city, but which will do so with little or no financial impact on our taxpayers. It is through these types of inroads that we are making on all levels that we have provided the residents and taxpayers with improvements to the city without an increase in their city taxes. My 2019 proposed fiscal year budget is one in which all areas have been carefully considered and a comprehensive plan is being adopted. This 2019 financial plan will further the city's ability to adjust to the changes that we are facing and manage our revenue constraints. We will continue to provide our residents and visitors with the top-of-the-line municipal services. Our special events, summer programs, recreational facilities, such as our parks with their upgrades and amenities, restrooms, playgrounds, and the splash pad will continue to be destinations. Our waterfront has come alive, and we will continue to find ways to promote its use. While some changes have been met, others still exist. The loss of Brooks Hospital from our Central Avenue, small businesses relocating, and of course, the loss of NRG have all had a negative impact. Planning for future development in the downtown area is critical, and we have secured a grant to provide assistance in the development of a comprehensive plan that will help provide us with the direction needed for future economic development along our central corridor. As for the situation that has been created with the closing of NRG, we are seeking ways in which to make up for the loss of this revenue. We are making necessary cuts in the various budget lines. Our staff is committed to looking for ways in which to function smarter and more efficiently. We are working with the offices of the governor, our New York State Senator, our New York State Assemblyman, and our county executive, as well as other entities, to either secure another power authority to take over the current NRG plant or to bring in new development to repurpose that property. And thanks to our BOA designation, this will be a realistic possibility. We have reached out to the Appalachian Region Commission for financial and professional assistance in developing a study on how this property could be best utilized. I have personally met with the governor, members of his team, and most recently with Mr. Tim Thomas, Federal Co-Chair of the Appalachian Region Commission, to discuss the many possibilities for our area. My trips to Albany have been beneficial to the city of Dunkirk. The governor and his staff have committed to ensuring that the city will continue to receive the transitional aid due to the loss of NRG. We are continuing to seek the necessary financial support to repurpose this facility in order to protect the city taxpayers from being faced with 100% of this burden. We will continue to work toward establishing new lines of revenue for the loss of NRG and the other businesses. I believe the city's workforce is committed to providing quality services to our residents, and I understand the need for more of everything. However, with the current state of affairs in our city, it is incumbent upon each of us to look for ways to work more efficiently. In 2019, everyone will be asked to do more with less. And that is the reality of things. I am counting on our employees to work together, to collaborate, to share ideas, and to look for ways to improve the efficiency quotient of every operation. This past year, we have embarked on a new training program for our directors and managers in order to provide them with the tools and strategies needed to manage and lead an effective and efficient workforce. Managing efficiently is critical to the bottom line, and our managers have been eager and cooperative to put some of these new communication techniques into their daily practices. I am pleased with the results that I have seen. Phase 2 of this program will begin in 2019, and I feel confident that the residents will see the benefits of this training. It is through the efforts of our men and women who come to work every day and see what needs to be done and are willing to do it that have allowed us to remain under our tax cap. Thus, even with the challenges that we are facing, our fund balance will remain in compliance with the Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, GAAP, and the General Finance Officers Association, GFOA. And our proposed fiscal year 2009 budget is balanced. Ladies and gentlemen, we will not be raising taxes this year. I must give thanks and appreciation to the department heads and Common Council for their support and sharing of ideas throughout this process. You know, when I make decisions, I come to meetings, and some of these ideas that come out of these committee meetings come from council members, department heads, sometimes frontline staff. I meet with frontline staff periodically, and they bring up ideas that I never even thought of, and I analyze that and I put it into implementation. So I can't take credit for all the changes that are positive that are happening here. Some of these changes have come from ideas of people that are right here in this room. Thus, even with these challenges that we're facing, we will be moving forward without raising taxes. Again, our Fiscal Affairs Officer has worked many hours on reviewing and tweaking every line item in the budget to ensure its accuracy and impact on the bottom line. Each department head has made a comprehensive review of their needs. and service requirements to ensure the most efficient and fiscally responsible services to the city's residents. Without these concerned individuals, we would not be able to develop a plan that would allow us to continue operating through fiscal strength and stability. This proposed budget will allow the City of Dunkirk to continue its quality of life as a community rich in diversity and culture, and one that cherishes its location on the shores of Lake Erie. Finally, I must also give my personal thanks to our New York State Governor, the Honorable Andrew Cuomo, and our state elected officials for their assistance in providing our city with the transitional aid relative to the loss of revenue from the NRG power plant, the approval of many grants, and the $2.5 million Smart Growth Fund. Their support for our request through the Financial Restructuring Board and the many other grants and assistance they have provided. It is through their financial support that we have been able to avoid another year without a tax increase. The fiscal year 2019 proposed budget for the City of Dunkirk totals $23,686,106. The proposed budget is balanced with respect to revenues and expenditures and does not call for an increase in the property tax levy. The proposed 2019 budget includes the three major funds: the General Fund, the Water Fund, and the Wastewater Fund. The proposed fiscal year 2019 budget provides for maintaining the property tax rate without an increase, resulting in a millage rate of $17.25 per $1,000 of assessed value. Once again, we have been able to prevent property tax rates from going up by continuing to look at all options and taking action to reduce costs. As mayor of the City of Dunkirk, I am proud to present this proposed City of Dunkirk fiscal year 2019 budget for the City Council's consideration. Thank you. At this time, I'm willing to take questions if anyone has any questions.
Mayor, the budget is up somewhat from last year. How much from the current budget?
Oh, Jesus. I'll defer that to our Fiscal Affairs Officer and or our City Treasurer.
I believe it's up, let's see, I believe it was 22 million last year. This is not going to tell me that. I believe it was 22.3 maybe. So, it's up a little bit. I can get that exact figure to you.
Okay. How is that being made up, that increase in spending, and what impact will it have on water and sewer rates?
That's a very good question, David, and I appreciate that. Our water rates will not be going up. Our sewer rates will not be going up. The good news here today is that our Fund 2, which is our water fund, is doing very well. In fact, it is the healthiest fund of the three. We actually have funds in there to do more upgrades, which is what we intend to do. In our Fund 3, we will not be raising rates there either. That fund is also doing better, and we anticipate and project that it'll get even better next year.
How do you envision the budget-making process going forward now? The council takes a look at this budget. Do you expect there's going to be some challenges, or do you think you're going to be able to work along with the budget, with the council?
I think that we'll work with the council. We have a very good working relationship. This budget process happens annually. I anticipate that there will be disagreements of opinion as to where some of the funds should go. I know that council members have mentioned before they would like to see more positions in our streets department. I have included funds in there to bring in another person in the streets department. I don't intend to bring in anyone more in the streets department. In my opinion, the funding needs to be put into equipment needs. We have many equipment needs. Unfortunately, over the years, the city has neglected some of the equipment needs that we have in our DPW department, and we are facing that issue now. So in 2019, what you're going to be seeing is new, more modern equipment. And I believe that with the proper equipment and appropriate equipment, our guys that we have there now in the streets department will do a very, very good job. I'd like to just mention the presence of our council members, Councilman Civiletto, Councilman Bamonto. I'd like to thank them for coming out. Anyone else with any questions? Well, this concludes our presentation. Thank you very much.